Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of To the Magic and Beyond. My name is Jordan, and I'm here with my co-host Michelle.
Hey, hey.
And we've got producer Courtney and producer Logan with us today.
Hello.
And hello. Sorry, I cut you off there.
It's okay. We don't always say hi.
You surprised me.
Are you saying hi,
Gotta
Courtney?
keep 'em on their
Producer
toes.
Courtney?
I guess so.
She's excited to be here, folks.
Yes.
So we have a fun episode for you guys today. A few episodes back, we all went to see the live action Snow White and decided to do a movie review on that. And you guys seemed to really enjoy that. We had a few people request for more movie reviews in general. So we want to keep doing those every once in a while. But Disney just released their new live action version of Lilo and Stitch. So we thought it would be fun to all go again together and then come and share our thoughts with you guys on what we thought.
Yeah. It was traditional Disney.
Yes.
And that makes you smile.
Yes. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. I thought it was so cute.
I mean, who doesn't love our little furry buddy? Fluffy Stitch.
Cute
but
and fluffy.
yeah, I mean, Snow White was great. Hi-ho. Which is funny because Logan,
He
now knows where the song comes from. Right, buddy? Not the ride.
You learn something new every time.
But
I'll never forget it.
And
this is the movie where Elvis came from. Right?
Yeah.
Is that right? No?
Yeah, the new and improved furry version.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there was I would say there was a lot of press about Snow White and the release for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
We all know that. And Lilo and Stitch,
It was just excitement.
not a lot of press.
I feel like
it's an alien.
And I could be wrong about this. Maybe I just wasn't in the know, but I feel like we really only had like a 2-month lead up kind of to when they announced the release date of it. Like, at least we knew it was coming. Like, we knew it had been filming. Yeah. But I feel like it was kind of like, oh, hey, we're releasing this in a couple of months. Oh, hey, it's released, which maybe works better for them,
Yeah. I mean, it definitely, there was no press. But I mean, just a little bit, like you said, of a couple months. And this is one of those summers, and it's the first summer in a while that I'm going, I could almost go to the movies every week.
Yeah.
This summer. Some summers we've had lately, I would say since COVID, there have been some really down summers where you're like, I'd like to go to the movie, but I'm really not going to drop that kind of cash to go see something I really don't care about that much. Whereas this summer, I mean, Disney's got a couple. DreamWorks has, Universal has some.
Yeah. It's kind of like a big blockbuster summer.
Yeah. I mean, you've got
every
Jurassic
weekend.
Park coming. Marvel's got stuff coming out. Superman's coming back out for the night. I feel like this is my 955 Superman.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so there's going to be a lot of good stuff. How to Train a Dragon is about to come out. We talked about going to see that. So yeah, I think that they hit the beginning of the summer right.
Perfect.
They opened summer.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where we're at for the record. Has anybody paid attention? I don't know about the financials. Has anybody seen I know it has done very well.
Yeah, that's all I know.
And has been number 1 at the box office.
Yep. Yeah, I know
that piece. I know
very successful. I don't remember seeing the specific numbers, but I just remember seeing, like you said, number 1 in the box office.
Yep.
Doing super well. People are loving it. I mean, it came out Memorial Day weekend, so you really hit that first week of summer that a lot of kids were out.
Yep.
They're ready to go to the movies. We actually we were at the theaters that weekend, and there were just so many kids walking around in like Lilo and Stitch pajamas and Lilo and Stitch shirts. And my niece went to see it, and she brought she had like Angel, his little girlfriend.
Yes,
she brought the stuffed animal to go and see them. And so it was actually really cool and exciting to see all of the younger generation really excited about Lilo and Stitch, because it was kind of like, at least for me and Courtney, like this was a big staple of our childhood. So like
it was.
We're obviously excited about it. But it was really cute to see how many littles now
are getting to enjoy
we're
it
really
again.
excited about it before it happened, and then now It's just
Well, I mean, and what says summer more than Hawaii?
Right.
I mean, like blue water,
Yeah.
surfboards.
Yes.
Everybody wants to, be outside in the sand, except for we're here and we're not in the sand.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that was great. I mean, we saw a bunch of folks tonight taking pictures, just like we were. We took a couple pictures, and there were some kids taking pictures.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the last time I saw some kids taking pictures
Right.
with the posters outside.
Being excited about it.
And being excited. So, I mean, obviously we're going to have an opinion here in a minute about how we all thought it went. And, I think, though, success cures a lot of ailments.
Yeah.
Where Disney's concerned.
Yeah.
And so, and they've, this has happened to them over the course of the past few years. They'll have some terrible busts.
Yeah.
Due to their own decision making.
Yeah.
And then they'll go boom.
They get a
and
smash.
They'll get a smash, and it's huge. I mean, and I think that's what this is. I think this has they've done a really good job.
I agree. Yeah. I think it was really, 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 really well done. And so we'll let you guys know kind of our thoughts on it. And a lot of thoughts we kind of talked about going into this do involve spoilers, because there's some, differences, things like that. So if you have not seen Lilo and Stitch live action and you do not want spoilers, now is your moment.
Turn it
to
off.
Turn
us
it
off.
Come back and see us once you have seen it. But if you are someone who you don't mind the spoilers, you actually want to hear maybe what some of the differences are so you can be prepared to go in, what similarities are, what we thought overall, keep listening. But we do just want to give a very fair warning that we will be talking about spoilers. So
yeah, unlike Snow White, which we mentioned, there might be some spoilers. This one's impossible to talk about without spoilers. And I think it's crucial to giving this a legitimate review. So
yeah,
just be prepared, but also stick around and listen to us. Come back and listen again. Whatever.
Yeah, come back and listen once you have seen it. So there you go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Boom. Well, so some of us in the room, actually everyone in the room, except me and Denver the Doodle.
Denver actually watched it with us.
Oh, he did.
Denver did watch it.
Sorry.
Denver
On your
actually
own.
did
He was
watch
actually
some of it.
he was actually watching the screen.
So there's only one of us in the room.
I see a trend here when it comes to homework.
I know. It's bad times. Bad times. My daytime job takes over. So yeah, everyone in the room except me went back and watched the original animated version of Lilo and Stitch, which is one of my favorite Disney movies.
Yeah, me too.
And we even had the soundtrack on a CD. Don't anymore. Don't have a CD player, but yeah, we used to have that, and went through several. I think we went through more than one copy of the VHS on this as well. But it could have just torn up. But anyhow, so I did not, but
You remember it well.
But I do remember it well, enough that I can say there was only one thing I was missing really out of it, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But you all went back and saw it. Mm-hmm. Courtney, I think, did it today. She is a procrastinator.
Yes, I did.
But that's just super fresh. I mean, we did it like 2 days ago.
Yeah. So I did not. And so I think, why don't we go around and maybe give your rating of what you rate it based upon the original. Like, you've got the original, and then you've got this, and give it, how many stars are we doing?
Okay, so like last time at the end we talked about like out of 5 stars rating. You want to go ahead and do that now?
Yeah, do the rating now, and then we'll get into the why.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just before, were you going to say that basically you not watching it may actually benefit?
I think if you've not gone back and watched the original, as someone who has the, look, again, I'm born in 1973, so I've got some movies that have been redone and movies that haven't been redone in life, right? And so I'm sometimes that person that's like, what? Don't mess up. Like, the first one was so good, why do we have to mess it up, right?
Yeah.
But with Disney live action, it's been a little different because it's coming to life, and so I've really enjoyed those. I will say, if you haven't gone back, you don't have to.
No, not at all. We just did it for fun.
This is going to be...
You can see this without
refreshing.
refreshing.
It's still so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That like it's every bit of the spirit that you want it to be.
Yeah.
It's every bit. So like, and you're gonna watch it and you're gonna go, oh, this is a lot like I remember it.
Yeah.
This is better because this
You're
is
gonna
like
remember
real
a lot of
time.
it. Yeah.
You'll remember a lot of it. It'll come
Yeah.
right back. And the music's great and all that good stuff. So if you haven't, don't let that hold you back from going. Don't wait to go see this.
Yeah, you
because
can
you're
see
going because you want to watch the anime. You can
Yeah.
watch the anime anytime you want. Disney
Yep.
Plus, right? It's there.
Yes, it
yeah,
is
you can
there.
see it anytime you want to. But make sure that you just go see it.
Yeah.
And if you're one of those people out there who's like, I don't know. Disney's done this a lot. I don't necessarily really love everything they've done. Snow White, I mean, a lot of people were not fans of what they heard. Mm-hmm. But we all said that. We completely eliminated what we heard, and we thought
gave
we're
it
just
a
going to go
fair
see
shot.
it. Because we were all prepared to be a little aggravated before.
Yeah.
And then we all talked, and we're like, nope, we're going to take it for what it's worth. Let's just take it for this one movie. Mm-hmm. And if you'll just get to the cinema and do that, you won't be disappointed this time. And we weren't disappointed with Snow White.
No, we loved it.
With that thought process,
Yeah.
right? But I mean, I don't think anybody's sitting around going, please don't mess up the original Snow White. but yeah, so give it a chance and go see it because you won't be sorry.
No.
Original or no original.
Yeah.
Original, go see this movie.
And
Great
if you
family
refuse, at least watch it at home.
Yeah, when it comes out, watch it at
You're
home.
gonna like it.
You're gonna
It's
like
good.
it, and I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna be upset about if you wait till you watch it at home. You're gonna be upset that
Popcorn?
you did not popcorn. I did have a little
Squirrel.
popcorn, but
that was
you're gonna be so sad because you didn't see it on the big screen with that surround sound. I mean, even if you got surround sound at home, it's not like at the
Yeah.
theater in the recliner.
The big reclining
Yeah,
chairs.
it's gonna be. You're
He's
gonna be
cuter and
really
fluffier.
sad. Oh, and he's huge on the big screen. So yeah, so make sure that you go see it. But yeah. I think that I think this is one we can rate early because we're
Yeah.
gonna get really deep into
Give
what
our
we love.
reasons. Yeah.
Deal.
All right, so you get to go first, Logan.
You want me to go first
I
this
want you
time?
to go
I
first.
refused on Snow White, but
We're
I'll
doing
go
it
first
out
this
of
time.
5, right?
Out of 5?
Yes,
Out of 5 stars?
5. I had said earlier that I actually thought I liked Snow White better, but having seen this now twice, giving away my hand a little bit. Well, you said that we went
Yeah.
early when it came out.
Yep.
I'm gonna tie it with Snow White. I'm gonna say 4 out of 5.
Oh.
I'll save most of the reasons for when we get into depth, but it tugs at your heartstrings. It's fun. It's cute. It's well done. But it's still it was never my favorite. I didn't ever
Right.
watch the original until recently. So
Yeah.
I really, really, really liked it. It was a fun time.
Producer Courtney.
5.
5?
Ooh.
No, I took a leap from the Snow White.
Yeah,
you're
3.75.
You went up to 5.
I don't even remember what my Snow White was,
I
but
think you were a 4.
You
Was
were
that
4 as
4?
well,
I
believe.
had the lowest rating for
Yeah.
the Snow White movie.
I mean, only 0.25 lower, where the
I
rest
know,
of us
but-
went 4.
yeah.
Yeah, but there's no room to
Yeah.
go up on that.
No,
So you liked it.
I
that much.
loved it.
Yeah.
It's probably one of my favorite live actions they've done. So
4.9.
Oh!
Boy.
4.9. I only have one little thing, and it's not even a negative, but it's a 4.9. Yeah. If they'd included that, it would have been good, and I'll
Yeah.
get into it. We'll get to my
Yeah.
part of what we'll get into. Jordan?
I actually think I'm with Courtney. I think I would go 5 on it as well.
goodness.
And here
I guess we're never doing movie reviews anymore. There's no room to go up.
well, they did a good job.
they did
No.
a great job. with
It was
No, they did a great job. I know.
for
I
a
just-
lot of reasons, but kind of like with what Courtney was saying, it's the first time in a very long time that I have come out of a live action movie and just loved it. Didn't really have moments where I was like, oh, I really wish they wouldn't have done that, or oh, it's okay, or
Yeah.
I've enjoyed the majority of the live actions. I am not one of those people that has found a reason to dislike all of them, because I just genuinely enjoy a good Disney movie and like seeing stuff brought to life. But when I walked out of this one, both times I was just like, I just thoroughly enjoyed that movie,
Yeah.
and so
I think I've had a connection to most of them. but there's always room to go up because there have been a
We'll
few
just
that have
increase
been.
our
Lion
scale
King
if
was
we need
terrible.
to.
We've already talked about
There's
that
always room to
before.
go up until tonight.
Yeah. Well, we can always
scale
go
of 1 to
down.
6.
It just means the other ones have any future live action has a lot to live up to.
That's right.
That's
That's
right.
They
fair.
nailed this one. I thought, like we've talked about this before. I thought they nailed Cinderella. I thought they nailed Beauty and the Beast. I thought they nailed Jungle Book.
Yeah.
I don't know that everyone in the world agreed with me on Jungle Book, but I loved Jungle Book because it's one of my favorites. And then I feel like they've done some that were, I hate saying terrible, but were, I probably would give a 2.5 to Lion King.
Yeah.
I liked Mufasa much better than Lion King.
Yeah.
But it still would have been more like 3.75 or something like that. Aladdin, I thought, was a 2.
Not your favorite.
No, I can't. I have zero emotional connection to it.
Yeah.
But I think that's because of Robin Williams. I really do. I think Will Smith is fine, except for he's not the
you
genie.
just missed.
I think
Williams a
I think
lot.
whatever emotional connection I had to Aladdin, this did not bring it to me.
Yeah.
But I would say Snow White was way better than Aladdin. Like I just so enjoyed it, and it didn't have to be the same, and it wasn't. And so I think with this one, I think the music, they kept the music. They've been known not to listen.
Yeah.
But I don't really know what they could have done. They could have done it terrible because they've done some terrible things. So they could have messed it up, but they didn't.
Yeah.
And so I think that was really good. And I think overall they kept the plot exactly where it was supposed to be. They didn't make any major shifts because it wasn't. But then they did do some things that were, I think, added depth to the movie.
Yeah.
And I know we all have at least something that kind of goes with that. And something that may have been missing that you wish was there. I don't know, Logan. I don't know because you didn't see it. You saw the original. Just a few days ago for the first time.
We watched it a few months ago.
Probably a few months ago
as well.
Right.
But I had forgotten a lot of it by the time so we watched it again a couple days ago.
Yeah. But if you look at animation and aliens kind of go together.
Yeah.
Right? You can do anything in animation and make things look, but they did so good.
They did.
These aliens were cute.
Really well done.
Yeah, because I thought the
so
aliens were
stinking
really cute.
Yeah.
In the original.
Yeah.
Animation, and they were stinking cute in this.
And they looked the same.
They look the same.
Fleekley, Jamba, they all look
Yeah,
the
just
same,
Queen,
but real
Literally
life.
brought to life
Yes.
as much as you can with CGI.
Yes.
But I mean,
Yeah.
but
the
all of, like,
CGI
the
was
hairs on
so-
Stitch.
Yeah, I mean, even going from Mufasa and the CGI there, right? I felt like from there to where we just went are two completely different places. And it's a different kind of movie too. I mean, one is like lions eating people, or not people, but animals, each other. And then this is friendly aliens. But I thought that they did so good with that. I mean, just Stitch by himself, right?
Was great.
Yeah, and fluffy and like just the depth of his hair, like just looking at, and if you've seen promos, and if you've seen that, like, it looks like you can see every little strand.
You feel like you could tangibly like pet him.
Yes. Yeah. He's adorable.
He also keeps a lot of the same mannerisms. The voice has many identical lines.
I believe it is the same actor who originally played him too.
Yeah.
I think they actually brought back the same voice actor, which I thought was good because Stitch's voice is so iconic.
Yeah.
That I think it would have been really sad if they didn't have.
Well, in his little ears, when he puts his ears down, if you're a dog, he's not a dog. We all know that.
Yes.
He
But
pretends
he's
to be one.
emulating a dog.
He pretends to be a dog. But when your dog puts their ears back and they look at, if you're a dog person, you just melt.
Yes.
Right? Like you just melt. And when he puts his ears down and those big dark eyes just get so sad.
So emotive.
Oh, he's just precious.
Yeah.
He's precious.
Yeah. And even Jamba and Pleakley, like, I thought they nailed how they looked
Cute.
as aliens in the cartoon version. I feel like they did a great job with their CGI on them. Like, Jamba, I love Lilo at one point calls him a hairy potato.
Yes.
And
Yes,
I feel
the
like
hairy
that's
potato.
the perfect way to
Yeah.
describe
Yeah.
Jamba.
Yeah, and he says that's not nice.
Do you want to talk about one of the differences? A small one is how they Pleakley and Jamba became in human form.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting choice, but I think it worked out really well. Probably because CGI costs a lot of money, but but I mean, you have Zach Galifianakis, which probably wasn't cheap either. You know,
Right.
But they did, one of the ways they kind of got around probably having to CGI them the entire movie was they actually have a way where they like basically clone themselves into a human form in the
Right.
movie, and I thought that was a fun new way to kind of look at them and have
Yeah.
them like awkwardly trying to figure out how to be human.
Like when they walked for the
cute,
first time,
yes.
it was pretty funny. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because like they were walking as aliens, but they like have an extra leg. One
Yeah.
of them does,
Yeah.
and the other one's legs
Just
are like
elephant
5
legs.
feet wide.
Yeah.
So it was like more of a stomp.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I thought that was super cute, and then I felt like they definitely kept their character.
Yeah.
Like again, when we talk about the mannerisms and we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about all those things, like Pleakley is goofy,
Yeah.
and I mean, very very smart.
But like clueless at the
One
same
would
time.
call in the South we would say book smart.
Yes.
In the South, we would say, bless his heart.
So and then the other one has the brute force,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So when you look at
The
Jamba,
evil scientist.
he's the evil scientist.
I will say this was one of the only things that I missed a little bit was Jamba's like Russian accent.
Yes.
I missed it
Yeah.
a little bit. Like
Yeah.
Zach Galifianakis did it great. He did his own version and whatnot. But I did miss a little bit of that, like just deep, kind of Russian, very evil
Yeah.
scientist
Yeah.
kind of vibe. But I still think Zach did a good job. That was just probably the one like major adjustment my brain had to do from the cartoon to this was like, oh, this is a different voice than what we see. Whereas everyone else was so similar. He was really the only one that had a big difference as far as how he talked.
And I liked what they did with him. So Lilo, whether you're looking at the original or this one, because they're very the same, she's her parents have died, and she's 6 years old, and she just doesn't fit.
Yeah.
Like to her, she doesn't fit. She doesn't have a friend group. Home is different. She misses her mom and daddy, and it's just
Sisters now
mom, and that's weird because she yells at her, in a different way than she probably used to yell at her.
Yeah.
But I felt like Jamba and Stitch, like they don't fit either. So Jamba kind of creates 626
Yeah.
because he's trying to what? He's trying to be important.
Right.
He's trying to find his spot. He's trying. Well, I mean, he wants to take over the world, but
As do all evil geniuses.
all evil geniuses want to take over the world. But he's not completely evil.
Yeah.
But the line from the movie is, and from both of them is what?
Yeah.
You're not bad.
You just do bad things.
You do bad things sometimes. And
Sometimes.
we all do bad things
Yeah.
sometimes.
Very relatable.
Very
for sure.
relatable. And I think that's where Jumba is. He's not all bad.
Yeah.
And Stitch wasn't all bad.
Yeah.
Lilo's not all bad.
Lilo and Stitch just kind of figure it out as they go along about how to find their way to good, whereas Jumba by the end of it is still
Yeah, he's still not found it.
figuring that out.
Yeah, he's gonna make another. He's gonna still be an evil genius. There's gonna be Stitch 995.
Which is probably that big. The other major difference that you have from the cartoon to this one is that the character of Gantu, which is the the big kind of whale-like henchman from the first, he's the captain, like the first officer or something. They did not put him in the movie.
Right.
He's the only character that's omitted from the original for whatever reason. I've heard various reasons, whether it was CGI or they just decided that they could do it without having him in there. It's, they made that choice. And so it ends up making Jamba have to be kind of the main.
Yeah.
bad guy, but like we said, he's still that Jamba we know and love of, kind of good, kind of bad, and just never really figures it out towards the end.
Well, and so he's missing, and then the only point one for me.
So wait, Gantu was not your point one.
Nope.
Not being there. Okay.
No.
I didn't take any points off, but that
Yeah.
was all.
Yeah.
I just, at first,
something I could live without.
Yeah.
At first I was thinking like, Jamba ends up being good at the end, and I didn't know how I felt about it. But when I went back and watched the original, I was like, he really doesn't turn things around until like the last 2 minutes of the movie. So I was like, it actually like makes
His
sense
character
that he
was
could.
very much the same.
Yeah.
The
He
whole
just
way through.
Is the
Yeah.
only bad guy.
He just
and he's
doesn't-
not even that bad.
yeah.
But he's the only bad guy.
He just doesn't end up helping at the very end. I think for those of us that have been fans of Lilo and Stitch for a long time, who have watched the TV show,
Yep.
and Stitch has a glitch and like all those things, we very much got used to Jamba being just a part of the family, their Ohana. And so I think that's where my brain was at first of like, wait, I thought he has the redemption arc, but like he really doesn't. In the original movie.
Yeah.
He eventually does,
Yeah.
in the later add-ons to it.
Okay,
So,
what's your point one?
The ugly duckling scene.
oh yeah.
So if
Is this
when
like
you-
when there wasn't enough turtle in Snow White?
Yeah, maybe.
Like really
But like
small?
when you watch the original, there's a scene because they've gone through and they've looked at the scrapbook, so to speak, and they're
Yes.
looking at all that. And
Finds
Stitch is
the
trying
book.
to finds the book, and he's trying to figure out like he's learning about family, and so like he doesn't have one. And he's
Yeah.
realizing he doesn't have one. And there's the ugly duckling book in her room. And he goes outside with it, and he's looking up into the universe.
Yeah.
And he's realizing,
Says Stitch lost.
yeah, Stitch is lost and he's the ugly duckling.
Yeah.
And it's very sad. But like Lilo already thinks she's the ugly duckling.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole thing. And like and they left that piece out, and it's still so good.
Yeah.
So emotional. And so that's
But
the
you
thing
missed
they
it.
left out for me. But I think the scenes that they added work very well. There's the scene at the restaurant where she's getting fired, and they both get where they're gonna do the soda fight.
Yeah.
Right, so you get the crayons. He's eat all the crayons he can eat. I
Yeah.
mean, they had to run out because he's got a mouthful of crayons. And then, like, he's over there, and she's like, "Come on, we got to come back." And then that's where she tells him she's gonna count to 3.
Yeah.
And she goes 1,
And
and
he
it's like,
shoots her.
and then she's like, she can't help herself
Yeah.
either because
She's
it's
like,
too
"Oh,
much
it's
fun.
on."
Like she knows she's not supposed to do it.
Yeah.
And so they're doing all of that.
Yeah.
And so for me, they added scenes like that, and and the characters where they take human form, so they're cloned. I think everything they added worked.
Agreed.
I didn't think they added anything that didn't work, and even though I'm upset about I'm not really upset.
You just
My
missed
little
the
point
ugly
one
duckling.
that I feel like, but I mean, it was great without it.
Yeah.
All
It
right.
still was great.
I think now is a good time for my hot take.
Go ahead. Hot
Because
take.
it's not detail oriented, it's big picture. You guys may hate me for this, but I just think the original one is simple. It has a storyline, it has a fun plot, and a cute ending, and we're done. And the stuff that was added in this one makes it a blockbuster movie. It makes it a live action, real people, depth to characters, depth to the ending, which we will get to. So to me, it makes the original just seem like a simple kids Disney movie, and this one is I think it's better. I think it's because it added all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it had
Yeah.
to change some things to do that, but the changes were great.
Yeah,
So
I could agree 110%. I think everything they added, everything, I think fit. I think sometimes we have to change things. Sometimes when they're doing a remake like this, they think they have to add things
Yeah.
to really turn it around.
and they didn't have to.
And they didn't
but
have
they
to,
did.
but what they did worked. And sometimes
really
they do
worked.
it and it just plug
Yeah.
it in and it doesn't
Yeah.
really fit.
Yeah.
But this time, everything they add, like I said, you gave it a 5. Producer Courtney gave it a 5.
Yeah.
I gave it a 4.9. There's only one person in the room less than that. I'll let you know who that was.
Who just said it was a really good.
I mean, he
Tough
said it was
scale.
really great though.
Tough scale.
He said it was a blockbuster, but yet it was a 4.
We're gonna do
Anyhow,
more of these. I need room to grow.
but yeah, I think that they like I said, I can't think of anything, and that includes my little ugly duckling thing. I missed it. I noticed it wasn't there.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's really, minus Gantu, the only thing I really just overall went, like later I'm probably going to, right? Because we just saw it tonight.
Yeah.
Right? So like later I'm going to be going, wait, there was this or there was that. But it's okay.
Initially, that was.
But
the
it's
only
okay
thing that you're
because
like, oh, I didn't
nothing
see
I'm
that.
missing was terrible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you miss anything, Courtney?
Other than Gantu.
No. I noticed the ugly duckling scene wasn't there. Gantu wasn't there, and Jumbo.
And I think it's because I already had to cry. Like if the duckling's in there, because I cried with that in the cartoon.
That's probably your peak emotional moment in the cartoon.
Correct.
Not in this one.
No, not in this one.
Not in this one.
Not in this one.
Let's talk about, in case we don't have it, let's talk about the ending.
Okay.
Because we've talked about the things we missed, the things that we liked that was added, that was changed. Possibly the biggest controversy to this point has been the ending.
Yeah.
That was, you can't see me off camera here, but that was changed, quote unquote. There were changes that added depth to the story and the character, which I just referenced, that I loved. However, let's talk about that.
Yeah. Well, so we had gone initially opening weekend, and then we wanted to see it again with y'all. But I came out of it loving it. I was like, man, they nailed it, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden I started seeing a couple articles here and there that were like controversial ending. And I was like, what? And so I started reading a little bit. I know Courtney had mentioned she had maybe seen something
saw it, but
different.
I didn't read it because I didn't want to spoil it.
Yeah. And we had a couple of friends that said they had seen something, so they were unsure of going to see it. And I was like, what? Like, I couldn't like
put it together.
Think of what it was. But if there is any quote unquote controversy to it, a lot of people felt like, so here's your big spoiler, this is your second chance to stop listening. A lot of people felt like having Nani give custody of Lilo to their neighbor, which is kind of like their auntie, and went to college, like ruined everything. That's been the hot take of, I don't know if it's everyone who's seen it or if they've just heard it, but that's been the thing where they're like, it just ruins everything because that's not the point of Ohana. But I'm like, I don't know what movie they were watching because I thought they did it so well and actually drove home a different point of Ohana.
Right. That Ohana is, there's this adage that I'm the only person in the room that's raised kids yet. But that it takes a village to raise your kids, right?
And Ohana is specifically not just your blood family.
Correct.
Yeah, in Hawaii, it's your community.
Yeah, and I do not have a sister in real life, like as far as birth goes. But I do have a sister.
In your
like
friends.
my best friend, Jennifer Goins, is my best friend ever. And we've been friends since we were 9 years old. And so, like, that's my sister. Like, I would do anything for her. Like,
and her family is like your family.
Correct. And so, like, that piece, and sometimes when you're doing things for your family, doing the best thing is sometimes what?
Hard.
Is hard. And I think they showed that, but it wasn't I'm abandoning you. She didn't abandon Leo.
In fact,
Lilo.
she still insisted on staying. It was Lilo who was like,
which
no,
you've got to go.
You are going to be leaving yourself behind if you don't go do this.
And it's not forever. It's college, and a lot of people have had to do that.
Yeah.
And it's like you had this great neighbor who's really like family anyway, and has been trying to help the whole time since the parents, and had the ability. And Lilo got to stay in her home next door, and they still rebuilt the house. Yeah. Right? And of course,
Nani
we
will
had
go
some
back there when she's done with her schooling.
Right, and come home on the breaks. And of course, hello, we have little aliens. So she's getting to come home whenever she wants.
Yeah.
Through a portal.
There's a portal. Which,
yeah.
If you can get to the point of the movie where all this happens, they find a great way to use the portal gun so that Nani still gets to see her all the time anyway.
Right.
So
Yeah.
for those of you that think she just completely leaves.
Yeah, she
gets to
does
see her all the
not,
time.
and it's this whole. One of the things that I loved the most about the depth they added in the movie was the weight that Nani is feeling, right? Because I feel like in the cartoon and when you're a little kid, you don't really think about Nani much, and maybe it's just because I'm older and think about, wow, that must be really hard. But I never thought about the fact that Nani's this 18, 19-year-old girl that all of a sudden loses her parents and has to take custody of her little sister and is trying to make ends meet. Like, you just don't think about that in the cartoon version. And I thought they did such a good job of really highlighting, like, this girl is going through it. Like, she's trying so hard to keep her family together and make the right decisions, but she's also basically a kid herself.
Yeah.
And so I thought they did such a good job kind of pulling on that in your heartstrings and that relationship and that bond with her and Lilo. But then how they gave her this backstory of she's really smart and she had a full ride scholarship to go be a marine biologist. Yeah. But she had to put that on hold to take care of Lilo. And I just thought that was a really cool way of arcing it, a full circle moment of like, you took care of Lilo, and Lilo's almost like, now let me take care of you.
Exactly.
By giving you this opportunity to go live your dreams. I'm okay. We still get to see each other because Disney put in this portal hopping gun that Nani takes
Let's
with
put it
her.
in a cute, fun way so
and I still have
see each other.
Well, and Pleakley is next door,
right?
And so like, there's this whole new and Jumba. There's like this whole new extended family, right? And our CI,
the CIA agents.
Yeah. He's hanging out at the house too.
Yeah, everyone's
Cobra.
looking out for her.
Yeah, I mean, so there's this whole extended family, and I think that's what the ending brings home is that, number one, you don't leave people behind, but at the same time, sometimes there are different stages of life and different things have to happen. Yeah, and Lilo's 6, and if Nani goes to school and she can what? She can have a job where she can help Lilo forever. Yeah. She didn't give up on her. She didn't give her away.
She just needed some help for a few
help.
years.
And if you can't ask for help, life's really sad. Yeah. I mean, I'm super happy with the, my folks that I have in my circle. And I think that, your circle changes over time. Yeah. And their circle changed. I mean, mom and dad are gone. Yeah. And, other people came in and they plugged that hole. Your circle will change throughout life. It will never stay the same. And I thought that they did a great job of bringing that together. And then other than that, like at the end, I know that Logan really likes a piece here at the end.
I wasn't sure if I was even going to bring it up.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can bring up that spoiler or not.
You can bring that spoiler. I mean, we've already given them all up. So.
Yeah.
Possibly the best scene in the movie.
If they really don't want it, they, have hopefully stopped listening.
Yeah. But, the movie goes through, the Stitch ends up in the spacecraft. They're trying to take him back. Lilo also ends up in the spacecraft. And so, it crashes.
Rescue mission.
Yeah, crashes into the water.
Crashes into the water because the rescue's trying to come save them, but of course it's not going well. And Jumba, the whole thing happens. And so it crashes. They're in the water. And Stitch cannot swim.
He just sinks like a rock.
Sinks like a rock.
Well, he gets heavier. Yeah.
And
the
he
water
gets heavier.
causes his molecular density to
and
increase.
so he's really heavy. And he's trying, and Lilo's trying to save him, but she's just 6 years old and so little, but she doesn't want to leave him behind, and she tries, and so she tries a couple times, and then they save her. Right?
But he let go. Did you notice that?
He let go. And not only that, but he makes the little heart for his hands.
Yes.
Till we meet again.
Oh, it's so precious. This is where all the tears
start.
All of us
everybody's crying. We're crying because he's down there. It's like Baymax all over again. But anyhow, he's dying. And so, but he's okay. Like, he's not fighting it. He lets go. And she's telling him no. Yeah. She's like, no, and he's like, yes, and so then he sinks, and then
Nani to the rescue.
What happens?
But she refused. Like, she wasn't going to go save him because she was just worried about Lilo.
But Lilo
finally talks her into it.
But she realizes, I think, that
is our family.
He's our family, but this is the thing closest to Lilo since mom and dad. Yeah, like if we let him die,
Yeah.
this is going to break Lilo in a way that
she
she's
might
not going to be able to recover, and you got like a split second to be making that decision.
Yeah. And something we learned earlier in the something they focused on more was her accolades and how successful she was and how good she was
and
at
trained
surfing, swimming, training. That's her full rides, all of that. And so I think something you had noticed about that was a picture early on.
Yeah, there's a picture of her doing
training
underwater. In the water with like holding
which
a
I didn't
rock.
even catch the first time. But
so
Nani goes down to save Stitch, and he's too heavy for her, and she can't swim up with him. And so she just looks at the ground and then just runs underwater along the sandbar all the way back to the shore, uphill.
Yep.
She's a boss.
So cool. It was the coolest scene.
Holding her breath.
Awesome.
And he's holding his breath, and it's a really long time. Like, these are Olympic breath holder people.
If they could have gotten the rights to the Rocky music.
Oh, it would have been perfect.
Could've been.
Yeah, that's where we needed Rocky playing right there.
That was it.
But then, to me, again, healthcare worker here. So super funny there at the end. You know, they get out and they get the AED. Somebody has an AED because, it's 2025. Everybody's got one in their car. And so they grab that and they use it and they shock him, and like, he doesn't even move. Like his little, like when an AED hits your chest, most humans are gonna what?
I mean,
jolt.
he's an alien.
You're gonna jolt, but he's an alien, and so he doesn't even move. And they're like, "We need something stronger." And the next thing you know, Lilo shows up with jumper cables, and she just drops them, and everybody's like, I mean, I don't know.
Let's give it a try.
Might as well
with
try
like
it.
3 vehicles up there, they still decide to hook it up to the
the old
battery
truck.
in the truck.
And
that
the
hasn't
little
worked all-
Datsun
Full
truck.
circle
Yeah.
moment.
It's like a Datsun, Nissan,
I think
old
he
truck.
actually jumped the truck off.
Yeah. And then like, it's not even like miraculous. Like if you know, like that, she starts the truck does start miraculously. And then like, she turns it off. I thought, why are we not leaving it going?
Rev the engine.
Yeah, rev it, do something. And so then he's like, kind of slowly, like, I'm awake now. And then he's saved, and life is good, and everything's wonderful, and it's all, it's all a happy ending.
Everything's Disney.
It's I mean, it's everything. It is everything that everyone in this room, including Logan, even though he's new to the Disney life, loves about
It
Disney.
was so good.
So, like,
Heartwarming. It's like pulls at your heart. I mean, we were all crying at some point, and then you have like the yay, like it was everything you want from a Disney movie.
Yes.
And I do want to shout out the little actress who played Lilo.
Oh,
They
she's
could
so
not have
good.
found a more perfect.
No, because there's like when
Little
she's
Lilo.
over him and she's screaming for him on the and the
like
snot, she's
snotting,
got like
crying.
snot coming out and like it's landing, like on Stitch. Although he loves some snot, like Stitch loves some snot.
Yeah, he picked
And
his
so
nose a
that
few
was
times.
that was like really good. But I think that I think they just hit it out of the park.
Yeah.
I think that if you can't like this,
Yeah.
good luck liking another
Any
Disney
other movie.
or any animated any
Yeah.
any movie like this,
Yeah.
right? Like this is it's everything it needed to be, I think, for them. And it just checks all the boxes. And unfortunately for Disney, the next one,
It sets a very high bar.
yeah,
for
there's
your
another
next
there's a
live
Pixar
action.
movie about to come out.
Yeah.
And we all know the Pixar movie that touches everybody's heartstrings the most, which is Toy Story.
Yeah.
And there's only 4 of those.
Yeah.
But 5 of those. There's 5 Toy Story movies. Isn't there? Is there 4 or 5? It's 5.
It's 4,
Is it
but a
4?
fifth on the way.
The 5th one's on the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this new one, it's Pixar, so it's different. Pixar has a different feel than a traditional Disney movie.
Yeah.
But I think this checks all your boxes.
Yeah.
If I don't know, what is it, $15-$16 to go see the movie?
Yeah.
Is that what it is right now?
I think so.
Okay, so like
At least
$15.
maybe matinees might be cheaper.
I'm
I don't
not
know if they
sad I
still do
spent
that.
$15 at all.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you go and
Yeah.
you're like, I could have done something else for that $15. This time, all good.
Yeah.
Could have paid $20.
Yeah. It was really
If
good.
it had been at IMAX,
New
I would
rating
have seen
system.
it.
How much is it worth?
There you go. How much is it worth? If this were offered at IMAX, I would go see it again.
Yeah.
Stitch and the aliens in IMAX. Are you kidding? It'd be great. I don't know why they didn't do that. Hey, Disney, it's not too late. It's not. I know it's more expensive, but it's not too late. But yeah. I mean, I think it's. I think you go give it a shot.
Yeah.
I think it's the summer of movies. We're gonna have a bunch more movies that we're probably gonna do.
Yeah. We got live action, How to Train Your Dragon that's coming out, so we want to go see that.
And it looks
really good.
If the trailers, you never know. I'm always scared when I see a trailer.
Yeah.
And I had seen the trailer for this and thought, oh, don't let me down, because the trailer looked great.
Yeah.
Like the trailers were great, right? Yeah. And so I thought, oh, please let it be this good. And so if How to Train Your Dragon is as good as the trailers,
they're also
and
gonna
Epic,
have a blockbuster.
and the ride at Epic, it's gonna, and the meet and greet at Epic, it's gonna be epic. And isn't it funny that their theme park opened? Yeah. And they've got a movie out that goes along with one of the rides. I think they planned that. Works. Hey, Universal. Yeah. I don't always give you a lot of credit. Yeah. Giving you a wink, wink on that one. Good job. Good job.
Yeah. Maybe just the kind of last closing remarks from everybody. Final thoughts. Producer Logan, anything else you want to say?
No, I think that's it. It was great. I really liked it. I'll maybe come up to a 4.25.
All right.
Okay.
There you go.
Courtney, are you coming down because you can't go up?
No. I'm going to keep it at a 5. It was literally almost completely identical to the original, minus just the few things we talked about, but they weren't like deal breakers for me. So
you felt like you watched it
literally
come to life.
They literally brought one of my favorite movies to life. Yeah. So
I'm so
I just want one. I may or may not have held a kangaroo this week at VBS, like a real kangaroo named Flower.
And now you want,
and I kind of want one. And now I'm kind of like, I'd like to have I mean, can y'all imagine me with a sidekick like Stitch? Man,
it would be entertaining.
It would be entertaining, folks. The world would not be the same. But yeah, I mean, I'm just I'm going to be happy for a few days. It was a really, really good feel. Yeah. Good feel.
Yeah, I agree. I loved it. I thought Disney knocked it out of the park with this one. And I would say if you're hesitant, I mean, if you've made it this far, you know pretty much everything's going to happen in the movie. But also, so if you haven't seen it, I mean, we gave you warnings. But I feel like if you're on the fence at all, if you're worried you might not like the ending or just any of that stuff, I really encourage you to give it a shot, because they just did it so well. They told a story so well. And it's, like you said, it's just one of those where you're gonna be on a high for a couple of days, because it was just so fun to watch and gives you all the feels.
I mean, the ending is not ruining, like, this isn't like the character isn't supposed to die and die,
right?
I mean, that's happened before.
I would tell you if that was happening.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we would not see that. This is not that. And so I think that they made, they made a few little changes here and there. This isn't really the great all-American novel that you should never touch. I mean, even Harry Potter had to be adjusted for the screen. You couldn't bring everything. So, go see it and catch us next time.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next time on To the Magic and Beyond.